Hi, Josephine.
Nice to meet you, Leora. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Before we start, I have to tell you how much I loved your film, Shirley. That ending is still with
Oh
me, I think a
my
year
gosh.
later. So
Wow.
beautiful. And
Oh,
now
that's
this
so
film
cute.
is just such a visceral, vibrant, life-affirming movie to follow it up with. So I'm curious, what are some moments from this film that you feel most proud of?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's one moment towards the end of the film where Toby reveals something pretty intense to Lennie. And we worked really close. I worked really closely with both actors on the sort of like the emotional reality of that. And they just got inside of it. And to me, it's one of the most moving scenes in the film, just how much loss there is in that. And also I think it really hopefully gets at how grief can bring you together, and what solace you can find with each other, even if it's confused and mixed up solace. And then, I'm really proud too of this. There's a scene, we had a lot of fun writing this scene called Grief is a House, when she's talking about she writes a poem about how grief is a house that blows into the air at the slightest gust. And it was just going to be like a CGI house in the air. And then we had this idea to have her run through the forest and feel the kind of visceral, violent, angry energy of grief with this house literally falling in pieces all around her. And we had so much fun shooting that. And and I think it's one of the moments where like the grief and comedy kind of mixed in a really nice way. She's telling this really intense poem. She jumps through a portal back into her own garden, and we just had a great time with the stunt team too, pulling that off. And I think they just added a great layer of comedy, that you're in this super intense moment and then it's so stupid and funny at the end. And I think that's something that was really a challenge and also a blessing of this film, was just these layers of reality, and that those things are always present at the same time: the grief, the love, the joy, the comedy, the disappointment, the tragedy. It's all always is mixed up. And I think J&D's script does that in a beautiful way.
I agree. And also music plays such an important part in this film and all your films. So I'm curious, is there a piece of music or film even that made you feel like the world was coming alive around you?
You in this film?
In this film or any film that you've seen
And is
recently?
this piece? Oh,
Yeah.
a huge inspiration for this film was the film Amelie by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. And I remember the way I felt when I walked out of the theater after that film. I just was like, I'm so curious, I'm so alive, anything can happen. I really love that he created a world where that felt true. And I think I felt really inspired to try to do something similar with this movie, that you would just walk out of the theater, hopefully, and just feel like more you also. Yeah.
hmm And so Grace, I have to say, she gives such a naturalistic, such a beautiful performance in this film. So can you talk a little about collaborating with her?
What a gifted actor she is. I mean, she really understands storytelling so well. She
Mhm.
got every nuance in the script. I mean, it was really stuff that you would normally really have to explain to a teenager. She came super ready and just had it all. Her parents are also actors, actually. And so she's got some good chops. But she was just a delight. I mean, she was able to hold all the comedy and all of the raw vulnerability so delicately. I feel so blessed that I found her. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for this film. Thank you for all of your work. I really appreciate it. Have a
Oh, well, thanks
wonderful
so
day.
much,
Thank
Leora.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Leora. Okay, bye.